Hey everyone, it is Shavana, your future physician that you will soon know around the world. I wanted to get on today and talk about basically a tip for those that are aspiring to be physicians, non-traditional, wherever you may be in life. The tip of the day is to start early or start now. One of the scriptures that I'm thinking of that came to mind was, "Teach me to number my days aright, that I may gain a heart of wisdom." And I know for some people, life just gets in the way and it causes you not to really achieve your goals at the time you thought you were going to achieve them. For example, for me, I am 33 years old. There were plans that I had that I wanted to do or have done by the age of 25. Like, I will be established, I will have a home, I will have all these things and be wealthy and da-da-da-da. And that's not my life right now. I am 33 in medical school, following this dream of being in medicine. And then as you realize the journey to get there is long. And for some people, it might not be as long. Some people go straight out the gate and into medical school. But this is for those that may be contemplating on if they should do medicine. And for those that are in high school or college, wherever you are. You need to start early, because one thing I didn't realize at the time that I was trying to avoid this path of being in medicine, I wasn't realizing all the years that it was going to take me to get to where I was. But in that process, I realized there was stuff that I did not know that I should have known. But it's not like you know all the things that you're supposed to know. You're in the place that you're in, you have the perspective that you have. It's not until somebody comes along that has certain information that can expose you to certain things that you can get go in another direction. So for me, I was going to school. I had the idea of being in medical school, but that still didn't get me on the path of, like, even though I knew, oh, it's going to take me a long time, that actually stopped me from going forth and wanting to go to medical school. And now that I am in medical school, it makes me realize I should have started this early. And starting early means this should have been in middle school, where I was prepping for the sciences and actually taking it serious. This should have been in high school, when I should have been looking at opportunities in ways that I can make myself make sure that I have all the tips and the skills that I need to excel in the sciences. I was trying to avoid the sciences. I was trying to avoid this path that you can't avoid it either way. Regardless if you start now, if you start later, it's still going to take a long time. And you honestly need endurance just to be a doctor of medicine. We all know that if you are in medical school, it's going to take 4 years for your bachelor's, another 4 years to go throughout school. Then you have residency that can be 2 to 10 years, and you still may not be making any money. Even though this is not about money, it is about money when you come to a place of, for one, if this is your career, at some point you got to think about money. It's not just, okay, we are saving lives and doing all of that. But in order to be in something and dedicate all this time to trying to take the classes, do the prereqs, take out degrees and do all this extra stuff, at some point money is a factor, because how am I going to live? And if there's a certain quality of life that I want to live, I'm thinking about that as well. I'm thinking about that in the choices that I make in regards to my career. So we can't just get into medicine and be like, oh, it's not about the money. Y'all shouldn't get in just about the money. Well, after I done sacrificed all this time, I'm thinking about some coins. I'm thinking about some dollars that need to be made. And this is why I'm telling you guys, if you are young, start right now. Start early. Don't wait until you're like in your 30s, in your 40s. And I'm not saying that starting late is bad, because like I said, anything can happen in your life to where it does not turn out the way you thought it was. It can even be in medical school. It may not be that you go all the way through. And even if you have some problems or some setbacks, just because you're smart doesn't mean that you won't have problems in medical school. Anybody can be smart. We've seen the smartest of the smart, and they're not passing through these semesters. We've seen people that have been dismissed, failed out. Like, I've had all these same scenarios in my own little path. So it's not about being smart. Some of it is about having a strategy to get through medical school. And what I want to say is you need mentorship. I did not know about SNMA. I didn't know about MAPS. I know about all these organizations. I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada. We didn't even have a medical community back then, because we didn't even have a medical school. I think we had Turo, but we didn't have an actual physical medical school that was just medical school. Turo was, I believe it was a doctor of osteopathic medicine. I wasn't going that way. I wanted to be an MD. Either way, you could have did either one. But all the organizations that that basically exposed me to certain things, and prep programs and schools that had all these different opportunities. It was not until I got into my master's program in HBCU, and not until I got serious about where I was going. When I was in my undergrad, I wasn't serious about being a doctor. I really was not trying to choose this path because I knew how long it took. So I wasn't serious at that time, which made me not research or look into it. I was not trying to do any of that. I was teaching. I was trying to avoid everything and anything that looked like medicine. And so yeah, I avoided those things and I wasn't serious about it. So you need to be clear about where you're going so that you can start looking up the things for where you are trying to get to. Because I wasn't clear and because I wasn't serious about it, I wasn't looking up anything, I wasn't researching anything. It was not until I got serious and I was like, okay, let me figure out what I need to be doing in order to put myself in a position to be a doctor. What classes do I need to take? What programs do I need to do? Then I started calling schools. And I went to, like I said, HBCU. I found out about SNMA. I had so many leadership roles and positions that I was in at that university, at Virginia State, that I had leadership roles that I was in for the sciences. I learned about MCAT programs. It was stuff that I had no idea about. So there was no way for me to start early because I didn't know they existed. How can I start early? There was no mentor around. And now you guys have social media. You can just look up something real quick and be like, oh yeah, let me look up something about a doctor. Let me look up something about nursing. You may not necessarily need a mentor, but you do need a mentor so that they can help you in the place that you sit in to get you to where you need to be at. You need a personal mentor, not somebody that's online. Oh, I watch their videos all the time. You need somebody that you can contact like today. Because I know we may see the people online that we're looking at and like, oh, I need their help and da-da-da. You need somebody that can help you with your personal situation so that you can take the steps as necessary to help you. Like, I didn't have somebody to tell me about a Caribbean school. I took that route because I was like, what I'm not doing is waiting on this long path, this long drawn out path of being in the U.S., not getting in, waiting another year, waiting 10 more years. No. So I was like, I'm going to go to the Caribbean. Now, what I can say is I don't know what path would have been the best path because where I'm at right now was the best path for me. We can say all the stuff that we could have did, but the maturity level back then is not the maturity level I have now. The study skills that I had back then are not the study skills I have now. Sitting where I sit, my eyes are different than those that are not in medical school. Now I see how I need to study. So you won't know what you need to do until you actually sit in the seat of being a medical student. You can prepare all day. You can do all of this stuff. You can be in every organization, blah, blah, blah. But once you actually sit in the seat of where you're trying to get, then you start to realize all these things that you should have done. All these things you should have been a part of. So what I want to tell you today is find mentorship. Start early. Start researching where you want to go. Look at the schools. I was not looking at schools. I was not researching. I was going by faith of I know I'm supposed to be a doctor and this is the path I'm taking. So there was nothing that I could even I wasn't exposed to certain things so that I can choose to do this better. I wasn't exposed to, the Caribbean be, scamming people. I didn't know about all of these stigmas about people like, don't go. And the thing with going to the Caribbean school, it's not that you can't go to Caribbean school. It's people that have experience, that have went this way, that have chosen another career. So they were probably already in medicine, in nursing, doing something. And the way they're excelling in some of the programs that are sped up is because they already had history. They already had understanding of the sciences on this level. So when they got to this place, it was easy for them. Because I used to wonder, how are y'all just passing? What y'all doing? How you just know what's going on in class? How you just know to put this together? It was because they were coming from experience. So it's not that Caribbean schools are bad. It's the fact that some people have more experience than you. And sometimes it may take you failing out of classes and having to retake and do all this other stuff in order to be a successful student. Just because you didn't do well on the first try don't mean that you can't be a doctor. And a lot of people get that mixed up. Oh, you smart. Smart does not equate with just being in medical school. Sometimes it takes strategy. So I want to tell you guys today, start early or start now wherever you are, because we know how long this path takes and we don't want to keep wasting time thinking about what we're going to do. Get clear, make up your mind today and do what it is you need to do so that you can be in your 30s thriving, in your 40s thriving, not you've waited till your 30s and your 40s and you're just not getting anywhere in life. If medicine what you want to do, it's going to take what it takes. It's going to take as long as it's going to take, and make sure you have a good support system. So I just wanted to get on today and say, teach me to number my days aright that I may gain the heart of wisdom, Lord. Help me on this path of becoming a doctor of medicine, if that's what I'm planning on doing, or whatever it is that you're planning on doing. And that's all I have for you today.